How's it going, everyone? And would you look at that? Sony's live service push is seemingly not going all too hot right now, as Bloomberg is reporting that PlayStation has canceled 2 more live service projects. The company tells employees it wants to minimize the impact of cuts. The games at Oregon-based Bend Studio and Texas-based Bluepoint Games were both live service projects designed to have reoccurring revenue from players. They were part of an ongoing strategy for those types of games launched by PlayStation several years ago that has led to mixed results. A company spokesperson confirmed the cancellation. Sony didn't say if the cancellations will lead to studio closures or layoffs. Would be absolute insanity if Bend Studio or Bluepoint Games got closed off. In a memo to staff reviewed by Bloomberg, the company said it's working closely with Bend and Bluepoint to determine what are the next projects and plan to do everything we can to ensure there is minimal business impact. These last 2 years have been difficult for the video games industry, which has seen tens of thousands of jobs lost. Okay, this is absolutely enormous news for a wide variety of reasons. First of all, it remains to be seen whether or not these are the games that Bluepoint and Bend Studio were cooking up for the last several years. Remember, Bend Studio dropped Days Gone in 2019. It has been 6 years since the release of that game. We knew that they were working on some game with some multiplayer emphasis to it. Is that game that they are canceling? Because that game's been in development for years and years and years. Bluepoint Games dropped Demon's Souls Remake in 2020. They've been working on games as well in that time period. I cannot believe that this is the only games they were working on, and this has to be like a secondary project, because if it was those primary games that those respective studios were working on, that is insanity. However, I don't want to push the cart before the horse, and maybe by the time you guys are watching this video, we'll have a little bit more clarity as far as what those games are, but oh my goodness, this is a huge thing, and this is what you guys have to understand when we talk about PlayStation and live service. I feel like a lot of you guys are like, well, PlayStation's 1-1. They may have flopped with Concord, but they hit a home run with Helldivers 2. Yes, Helldivers 2 was a home run, but what you guys are forgetting about is Naughty Dog canceled Last of Us Factions. That was a live service game that they poured millions and millions of dollars into, and almost certainly stunted Naughty Dog releasing another game in the last 5 years. Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020. We're not gonna get Intergalactic until probably 2026, 2027. Okay, Bend Studio has not put out a game since 2019. Are you telling me this game didn't stunt them? Are you telling me that Bluepoint's live service game ultimately is gonna not slow them down in releasing a new game? And again, while to the naked eye it might be Sony's 1-1, really now they are 1-4, because you've got 3 canceled games, 2 new that we know about with Bend Studio and Bluepoint, and you have Concord. They are 1-4. That is their ratio right now, and that's based on the information that I know, with Naughty Dog canceling Last of Us Factions and these 2 games also being canceled, and then also Concord being an abstract failure, like one of the biggest failures in gaming history, legitimately one of the biggest failures in gaming history. It's unfortunate because a decision like this in their push to live service, I strongly feel this way, should have consequence. PlayStation should take some form of L in terms of their market share in the console space. I would like Xbox to bounce back and this be their opportunity. Remember when Xbox said that they were going forward with used games, or the lack of used games always online? That was PlayStation's opportunity to come in and be like, all right, y'all want to do that? Let's take some market share. And Xbox immediately felt the consequence. All I want is there to be a competitive, healthy environment for there to be 2 competing platforms, but Sony's not going to feel the consequence in terms of their market share being affected. That's what I want to be affected. No, I do not want people to lose their jobs. I do not want any of that. There are livelihoods that are going to be affected based on these cancellations. However, we've been talking about it for years and years about this live service push, and I've said it over and over again, that the methodology with live service, it's so obvious. throw as much crap at the wall and hope something sticks. Hope you get a Marvel's Rivals. We talked about Marvel Rivals how many times so far in terms of that being a game that is so successful, and that's gonna have such a microscope on it because, oh my god, $130 million of revenue in a month. However, the live service space cannot exist with 100 billion games all being successful. Obviously hyperbole, but you get the idea. The biggest element of a live service game is that you have to invest your time into it, and time is such a finite resource, unlike something like a Spider-Man 2 where I can buy that game for $70. I play it for 15 to 20 hours. I'm done with with that game in a week or two. I move on to the next game. The live service model is all based around you playing a game year after year after year after year, or month after month at the very least, and it's just not a sustainable model in the sense that there's only so much time to go around. You can't have 10 games come out and they all be successful in the live service space. People only have so much time to invest. My boys are all playing Marvel Rivals right now. Do you think they're playing a lot of other games to go along with that? No, they're not. They are focused on Marvel Rivals. They're not playing, whatever, Overwatch. Overwatch has seen a direct impact, so that's what I've been saying the whole time, that you cannot beat that factor that a live service game needs. It needs the consumer's time, and even more than that, this is not what brought PlayStation to the dance. This is not their identity. Their identity is tied to games like Ghosts of Yote, Death Stranding 2, Stellar Blade, games like that, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and so Astrobot, even less so Astrobot, although Astrobot really is cultivating a new audience for them, which is great. We want more of that, and think about the millions upon millions of dollars that have been poured and absolutely crapped away on these live service games, that we can't get a new Jak and Daxter, we can't get a new Sly Cooper, we can't get Gravity Rush 3. Listen, I get why Sony is went this route. I empathize with them. I get that the old heads that are executives look at something like Fortnite, they'll look at something like Marvel Rivals, and they'll be like, oh my god, $100 million in a month when we poured $200 million on these games, $300 million, marketing costs so high, and we can make money off of them once. Yeah, we can port it to PC, but these games month over month, that looks incredibly spicy. That, I'm sorry, a Gravity Rush 3 doesn't look that spicy to the executive at Sony greenlighting these decisions. I get that, but it is still absolutely depressing to me. But, these are the things that happen, and I've been saying it for how long, and this ain't rocket science. A lot of people have been saying that. I see the comment section, a lot of you guys have been seeing that, and now you're just seeing the chickens come home to roost, or whatever the saying is. But definitely a story to follow, and this is one of the main reasons, you guys, that PlayStation's first-party output is so freaking weak right now, and they should be called out for it. I get why they did it, but it has been a failure. 1-4 record is what you're dealing with right now. We'll see how Fair Game turns out, because it could end up being 1-5 by the end of 2025. But who knows? Fair Game might be the one. Fair Game might be their rivals. Who knows? You can't predict these things. And as I am recording this video, more news is coming out and I'm getting more insight. One of these projects was a live service game, again, from Ben's studio. Bluepoint's title was a live service God of War game. Oh, no, no, no. We are going back to God of War Ascension. So that game is no more, and I do believe these were the major games those studios were respectively working on, and if that's the case, I'm in shambles. The studios won't close down, and Sony is saying that they're gonna work with the studios to figure out their next projects, but that is insanity. That is absolute insanity and unfathomable to that extent. If it is what I believe it to be, and these are the major games they've been working on for the last however many years, disaster situation. Absolutely. Why is Bluepoint working on a live service game? Bluepoint's been doing remakes and remasters, and they just got tasked to do a live service God of War game? God of War game? What are we doing here? What is going on? Well, we're all talking about Bluepoint, please remake Legend of Dragoon. Nah, bro, you getting a God of War live service game and you liking it. I guess we're not getting the God of War live service game because it's canceled and Ben Studios game's canceled. But man, please remake Legend of Dragoon, Bluepoint, I beg you. Yeah, bro, God of War, a live service game. Come on now, that is so insane to me. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Just absolutely massive news in terms of PlayStation, and yeah, some people are gonna look at this as a W. If you hate live service games, if you hate PlayStation's push, you'll see this as a W. Obviously, we don't want anyone's job to be affected, but it is what it is. That's gonna do it for me. All of your thoughts down below, sound off there in the comments. Thank you for watching. Huge news, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.